Sometimes life will take you to your knees. Sometimes you have to cry. Sometimes we'll hurt deep inside. In time of adversity, you don't have an obstacle to deal with. You have a choice to make.
You can suffer, or you can choose to do whatever you need to do to liberate yourself, whatever you need to do to reinvent yourself, whatever you need to do to overcome whatever you are stuck in right now. It does not have to be your residency.
You keep standing. No matter how rough the sea, you keep standing. No matter what, you don't give up. You keep standing. No matter what.
You got to be bold in life, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not bold, if you're not standing up inside yourself, if you're not willing to call into being the highest and the strongest that's within you when you're facing life's challenges, life will trample you. But see, when you discover the truth of this goodness, this power that you have within you, that truth will set you free from ever being a victim in life. That truth will enable you to handle things with a level of equanimity that will surprise you. Getting unstuck means that you are going to start living life on your terms, rather than just gliding through every day on automatic. That you have a special power within. That you know that things are going to get better for you. You know that you can handle this. And because you want some different kind of results in your life, you've got to decide that I'm going to go all out.
We decide which moments define us. Will it be the moment we get knocked down? Or will it be the moment when we get back up? This is when we show the world what we're made of. Listen to me, you can't give up. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But if life's got you down, I need you to get up and prove them wrong.
People who operate in darkness, they are relentless. They never stop. And we have to make it our full-time job to fight back. You got to put your foot down. You got to get an attitude. You got to get fired up.
You got to get up, look at the man in the mirror and go, this is what I'm doing today, whether they like it or not. Everybody's focusing on the stupidity things that they got on the news. Don't watch the news no more. I give you the real news. You know what the news is about today? You, and how you're going to conquer the world.
And don't be disturbed because no one else can see it. That's not unusual. You've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside.
You need to change on how you look at the people, what they say to you. You gotta start armoring your mind. Start preparing yourself for what's out here in life. Build confidence, build self-esteem. So people talk to you, it doesn't matter. That's great power in adversity. If you're a victim of any kind, make sure you use that to become successful. It's about going that extra step when you feel like you can. That's what builds self-respect, self-esteem, self-discipline, all those things. Learn to not let life hijack your brain. Don't allow all these things to make you a lesser person. You must own your mind. Don't let life own yours. Everybody has a defining moment. Whatever your defining moment is, own it. And say to yourself, after today, I will do whatever it takes to become everything I can become.
You not hear what I'm saying? You're not staying long enough to make something happen. You're not there long enough. You're not studying long enough. You didn't read a whole book and got what? I'd rather for you to read one page 100 times than read 100 pages once. You can't get enough from reading 100 pages one time. I'd rather for you to read one page 100 times, and I mean consume it in your life right now. The reason why you're not successful, you all over the place. You just taking the axe and just swinging it, and you wondering why you're not getting the results you want. Because what real students do is sharpen the axe first, and then they don't just hit the tree 1,000 times. They hit the tree 1,000 times where? In the same spot. You hitting it all over the place. You need to be intentional. You need to be deliberate about your thinking. I need you to think about what you're thinking about, because where your focus goes, your energy flows. You concentrate on winning. You concentrate on dominating. Nothing needs to change but your mindset. I don't need knowledge. I need specific knowledge. Stop thinking you deep because you reading and you studying. No, you need explicit knowledge.
Stay focused on the target. The target is not the activity. The activity can change. It's what's the result I'm after. Clarity is power. the more clear you are on specifically what you want, the faster your brain can get you there.
True winners, they never lose focus. They always focus on the goal. They always focus on the process, and they always focus on being the absolute best that they can.
The reason why you stop and start, and you stop and you start, is because the goal is not meaningful enough. Who are you doing this for? That person that you think about has to be louder than the snooze button. So when you think about Granny, you gotta think about, do I hit the snooze button, or do I get up and make it happen for Granny? It's not just about you. When you finally go after the stuff that you were afraid to go after, that's the stuff I'm talking about. I'm talking about going after the stuff that scares you. What are you going after? Or better yet, why aren't you going after it? All I need you to do is declare that yesterday was the last day that you were a loser. Like yesterday was the last day you expected to come up short.
You do the work now, and all that you could ever want to do for your family, your kids, your loved ones, it's all going to be on a whole nother stratosphere.
I made a decision, Pat, I truly want to find out what you're capable of if you're fully focused. Anytime in my entire life, I've been 100% focused, I've always won. Anytime. You have as well, by the way. So if you think about yourself, go back at any time in your lifetime, you've been focused for 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, guaranteed you won, because it's a formula. And I knew most people weren't going to do it. I knew most people would get discouraged, I knew most people would get distracted, I knew most people are going to say, I have family issues, health issues, market issues, this isn't for me, it's not my passion. It's all this stuff that they make up because they simply don't want to do the work, because they're frightened of the work. Now you don't have to be that. Most people have half their life all the time. I knew they were going to get tired. They were going to flinch. They were going to get down. They quit improving themselves. They start sleeping in. They spend all their damn money. I'm not going to do that stuff. I'm going to save money. I'm going to get up early. I'm going to stay relentless.
I don't alter my mission at hand. No one's with me, because I don't allow them to. It's got to be that way. It's got to be unconditionally focused.
I don't care about the party. I don't care about TV. I don't care about any of this stuff. 100% focused. I am not going to be distracted.
And every day you try to master it, to be the best you can be.
Practice only makes improvement. Perfection doesn't exist. You can always better your best. You have not done your best work yet. Long as you're here, you have a chance to transcend yourself.
Meditate on this stuff. Focus on this stuff. It don't mean negative things won't happen, but we're not focusing on it. We're going to focus on what's positive. We're going to focus on what's good. And when we focus on that, that's where our energy is going to go. I need you to take ownership of your thoughts.
Own your life, guys. You have every opportunity. There's no excuse not to be the hardest worker in the room.
And I guarantee if you put the right energy, the right effort, the right focus, it's only a matter of time. We're all faced with a time of challenge and controversy. Adversity causes some cats to break and other cats to break records.
There's times where you're gonna have to do it alone. There's not gonna be any team support. There's not gonna be any family support. There's not gonna be any friend support. There's gonna be times where you've got to go and do it yourself, and you gotta do it alone. And those are the times that make a difference. Those are the times that count. Those are the times where you have to dig deep yourself to get the job done.
And the type of commitment that I'm speaking of is the commitment that says, I am going to stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left. Because there's some things you just can't get without perseverance. And you're gonna have to fight and fight and fight and fight. And most of you won't be successful, not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you long enough to get to your new you.
And the difference between winners and losers is how we adjust to these hard times. Winners, they understand that the path they've chosen is going to have resistance. They look at it as, well, yeah, I'm tested today, and you know what? I'm gonna pass that test. And whenever they have the hard thing that happens, and then they overcome it, they gain more confidence because they overcame something that the previous version of themselves or the rest of everybody else would have just quit when it happened to them.
Things are gonna get harder, things are gonna get tougher. That's the way life works. What you need to do is you need to get harder and you need to get tougher.
Nobody gave me this, I earned it. Life wasn't a crystal stair for me. Didn't nobody give me a network, I earned the network. Everybody say, E, how did you crack the code? I grinded my way through the code. That's how I cracked it. I got up every day at 3. Monday I grind, I ain't never give in. I just keep grinding. There's certain things when you're privileged that mama can buy you, but you can't buy grit, and you can't buy grind, and you can't buy resilience, and you can't buy heart, and you can't buy that dog. I don't care where you come from, I want you to be the best at what you do. You don't need this, or that. All you need to be successful in this world is that dog. You gotta wake up every day and compete. You gotta go after it. Everybody said you don't read well enough. You're not a critical thinker. I'm not, but I'm a beast. You ain't gotta be smart when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you got that dog. You gonna have to play hurt. You gonna have to play when stuff is going on. It's a work that separates the boys from the men. Are you ready to do the work? Are you ready to put in the work? Stop whining, stop crying, stop asking. I want your work to go before you. Everybody want to be a beast till it's time to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Everybody want to be number one till it's time to do what number one do. I'm about that life. I get up every morning at 3 o'clock. When I want to get up, when I don't. When I feel like it and I don't feel like. Why? Because I'm process driven. I'm not feelings driven. Champions are not feeling driven. Champions don't get up when they want to. There is a championship coordinate and you can't change that. You gotta be intentional and deliberate. You gotta decide that you're gonna do something and you gotta do it every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. Consistency is having a goal, and when you wake up that day and you don't feel like it, you still do what you told yourself you was gonna do. It is the days you don't feel like doing it, but you look at your wife, you look at your kid, and you realize, I gotta get up and make it happen, even though I don't wanna get up and make it happen. Set the standard, then raise the standard, then uphold the standard every single day. If you're not willing to do it every single day, you're not going to beat the man that's doing it every single day. Some of you like, that's too much. Well, you're not going to be a champion. You're going up against other champions? You think you're going to get 50%? You think you're going to get 70%? And you won't with these people who's giving sweat, who's giving blood, who's giving tears. You want what they paid for, and it ain't free. I'm not the best. They better than me, but they have not outworked me. You might be taller than me. You might be bigger than me. You might be stronger than me, but I'm coming, and I'd rather die trying. I'd rather give everything I got. I'd rather give a year. I'd rather put in work and fail to not try it all. The real beast is the last 4 minutes. The real beast is when their legs give out. The real beast when they tired. The real beast find a way to pull something out when nobody else ain't got nothing. Some people, you just, y'all start losing and you just stop playing. You just like, I give up, I quit, we already lost.
And so you let it go. And you settle for the status quo. You settle for the easy road. You settle for, oh well.
But here's the thing. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living.
Greatness is a lot of small things done well. Day after day, workout after workout, obedience after obedience, day after day.
You think you're just gonna change the game, you're just gonna change the rules. It don't work like that. There's a standard to greatness and there's levels to this.
To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
And some of you right now, you are where you are, you're giving 60% when you have 120 in you. There are those of you with a big dream but a little grind. I need you to pick your grind up. I need you to pick your grind up. There's nothing wrong with your dream. You have a great dream. But your grind does not affect your dream. And I need you to wake up every single day and I need you to use your 24 hours like you've never used it before. You gotta get tired of losing. You don't belong at the bottom and it's time for you to get your butt from down there. It's time for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get your butt up. Get where you belong. Do what you're supposed to do. Live like you're supposed to live. I made a decision. Enough is enough. It's showtime. And your grind has to match your dream. You can't play as much as you used to play. You can't go where you used to go. You can't do what you used to do. And now you gotta push your grind up to match your dream. You still fighting people. You still cussing folk out. You still laying hands on people. That's the easy fight. Now fight your bad habits. Fight your addictions now. Fight your laziness. Fight your procrastination. Take that energy now and fight to get a degree. Fight to start a company. Fight. Use that energy for something positive. And so while you talking about your haters, it ain't your haters that's stopping you. It's you that's stopping you. You gotta go get it. It might take you more than 6 months. It might take you more than a year. It might take you more than 2 years. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care the sacrifice. You put in too many hours. You made too many phone calls. You put in too much money. You've invested too much time to quit now. You've given too much. You should have quit last year. You should have quit 2 years ago. You've come too far to give up. The only thing you can do right now is go all in. You gotta create the type of scenario that if it doesn't work, you lose everything. And because you cannot lose everything, you gotta make it happen.
Put yourself in a position where you can't retreat, where it's do or die, sink or swim. Here's what you'll find out. You'll develop incredible swimming skill. You'll find yourself stroking unlike you've ever seen before. Through the inspiration of desperation, you become more creative than ever before.
If you want to take the island, burn the boats, and you will take the island, because people, when they're going to either die or succeed, tend to succeed.
You can't have that life until you're willing to put in that work. I need you to hustle until you no longer have to introduce yourself. I need you to work this business so hard that you don't have to convince anybody. I need you to work this business so hard that they begging you to get in. They begging to get on your team. They're begging to go on the road. I need you to hustle so hard. I need you to go in so hard that people start calling you and you don't have to call them.
You owe it to yourself to give it your best effort. If you get in the habit of being mediocre or doing just enough to get by, you're not hurting anybody but you. You're cheating you.
But you're giving 50% and you said it's not working. You're giving 60% and you said it's not working.
Weak people who lose, they have bad happen to them and they say, well, I tried, I did my best, it was this guy's fault, it was my boss's fault, and they make all these excuses. And winners do not do that at all. They get punched in the face, they sit down for a second and they say, and they get back up and they keep going. I choose to perceive the difficult days as a test that has showed up to reinforce the belief that I have in myself, to reinforce what I know about myself. And if we all approach the difficult times like that and we continue to push through, our confidence will go up tremendously. Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Yes. Yes, your life is worth it.
It's time for you to unleash the beast. It's time for you to go inside and unleash that fire, unleash that purpose, unleash your passion. You gotta make a commitment that you'll never ever give 60%. You'll never ever give 70%. From this day forward, you give it 120%.
120%. That's my standard of excellence, my standard of greatness. 120 is being better and bigger and bolder, going further and faster, setting goals and shattering goals. 120 is giving my all. 120 to the day I die.
This is your time. This is your moment. What are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna capture it? Or are you gonna let it slip away? Eminem said it. If you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you've ever wanted, would you capture it? Or would you let it slip away? And so I ask you the question, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Do you want it as bad as you want to breathe? Or do you just kind of want it?
What's the single most important key to success above anything else? It's not talent, it's not skill, it's hunger.
The common backstory for the successful people is hunger.
Intelligence is not it. There are people less intelligence, less skill, less ability to perform at a higher level because they never lose their hunger. How do you create your life? You get hungry for something, don't you? If you get enough hunger going in you for an answer, you'll find the answer. If you get a hunger enough inside of you that says, I gotta take things to a next level, I gotta achieve, I gotta make a difference, I gotta expand, you will find the answer. People's intelligence will expand if they got enough hunger. But if you got everything and you're not hungry, you're not gonna have much.
Anybody can do anything and set their mind to. But it depends on how bad you want it.
And if you want it as bad as you want to breathe, nobody can stop you.
Personal power means the ability to take action, to follow through, to take the steps that are necessary to take an idea and translate it into reality. And it's the #1 tool that most people in life never exercise, and it's the gift that every one of us has right now and at any moment in our life. you could start using your power. You could start following through. You could take this idea in your head and turn it into physical reality. Whether that idea is how you want to make your relationship, or the kind of money you want to make, or a business you want to start, it doesn't matter. It is available right now. All you do is decide and then follow through. See, Michael Jackson can move the way he does because every single day, the question he asks himself is, how can I make this better?
Where focus goes, energy flows. What are you going to focus on? Because whatever you focus on, you feel and you move towards. It's your decisions that are controlling your destiny. So the first decision you make every moment is, what are you going to focus on? You want to change your life? Make a new choice. You want to change your income? You can go to 1 million classes and making more money. Until you make a shift into what is a must for you, you won't. When you do, you'll find the way.
Concentration of power says this: if you focus on something every single day and you ask yourself, how can I improve it? And you demand from yourself that somehow it has to get better, you will master that area of focus. I don't care what it is.
And if you don't have what you want, stop telling yourself the story because you don't have the money, you don't have the time. That's bullshit. It's because you haven't committed yourself where you would burn your boats. If you want to take the island, burn boats, and you will take the island, because people, when they're going to either die or succeed, tend to succeed.
The power to hold on in spite of everything, the power to endure, the hunger, the ability to face defeat again and again without giving up. When you're hungry, you don't care about the facts. You don't care about the odds. This is a winner's quality. You have that quality within you. The people that are running at their dreams are the people that are hungry, that know if it's going to happen, it's up to them. They know they're going to have hard times. They keep on running because they're saying within themselves, I'm the one. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. Commitment. It means taking a stand for you. Commit means to carry into action deliberately. Commit means to make it happen no matter what. See, when you make a commitment, I'm going to become wealthy. When you make it important, when you decide I'm going to do it no matter what, life changes for you. See, most people don't keep their commitments to their commitments. That's why they lead lives of misery, lives of unhappiness. Whatever commitment that you make, keep your commitment to your commitment, no matter what. If it's hard, then do it hard. We say, oh, it's too hard, it's too hard. We don't challenge our spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing as powerful as the human spirit. You can't destroy it. You can pervert it, but you can't destroy it. The universe responds to the man or woman that refuses to be denied. That business that you want, that book you want to write, that dream that you have of controlling your destiny, that is yours. But you've got to be willing to stand there and face disappointment, not have support, be lonely, doubt yourself sometimes. Be rejected again and again and again, and refuse to turn around until life gives it up. If you just decide, I'm going to keep my word. If I say something, I'm going to do it regardless. Being more disciplined, more focused.
Don't look for any gains where there's been no sacrifice. Don't look for your game to improve. Don't look for the record to improve. Without sacrifice, there are no gains.
Only those who are willing to risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. Look, you gotta want it as bad as you want to breathe.
And when you want it as bad as you want to breathe says, I'm willing to make any sacrifice. I'm willing to go through any pain. I'm willing to go through any suffering. I'm willing to go through whatever it takes. So when I get in there, then I guarantee you at the end of it, I won't be the one that surrendered. When you want something bad, you can't count the cost, because if you count the cost and you see how much it costs, you might quit. You might give up. So you got to go in knowing that I don't count the cost. I do as many push-ups as it takes, as many reps as it takes. I study as long as it takes. I pay whatever the price is. Why? Because if I start counting the cost, I might quit. I might give up. I might surrender. Don't count the cost. You just do whatever it takes to get whatever you want.
In those times when you want to quit, you make sure you remember one thing. All those times and hours and days you sacrifice to be the best.
You will never regret making a sacrifice, ever.
You know, the war that you have to really fight is the war against yourself.
It's you against you. You against you. There's no hack, bro. There's no hack to grow that thing. How do you grow it? Do it, and do it, and do it, and do it. That's the hack. The hack is gonna suck. You gotta build your will.
No, it's not easy to look in the mirror and to change your own life. It's hard as you have to take responsibility. You have to learn new things. You have to feel uncomfortable. Because discomfort is how we grow. That's how we become strong. You have two paths in front of you right now. One path is the easy path. You don't have to change anything. Everything in your life that you aren't happy about can be someone else's fault. But the end of that road isn't pretty. The other path is the hard path. It's going to be downright painful. You will have to force your brain to think in new ways. But eventually, you will start to feel empowered. You will realize that you have the greatest power of all, the power to change your own life. You will be stronger than you've ever known.
When you give up, your mind thinks it's over, so it stops growing. There's no development when you give up. But when you can say, screw this is awful. I'm overwhelmed, I'm in pain, I'm struggling, I'm hurting, but decide not to leave, your mind gets the message. It realizes he's sticking around, so we need to adapt, we need to improve. That's when different parts of your brain kick into gear. You start using parts of your mind you never used before, especially when you're struggling and you refuse to quit.
I am sick and tired of earning a shitty spot in this world and then blaming every single person around him. I'm sick of watching people stuff their faces and do nothing and expect to have this great life. I'm sick of people showing up and doing the minimum and expect to be wealthy and successful and all the things that they say they want. It just doesn't work that way. When's it gonna be? When is it gonna be that you are finally not full of make the change that you need to make? Become the person you need to become. This isn't about losing 20 pounds or 30 pounds or 100 pounds. This is about becoming a person that can control their external environment and make decisions that serve them no matter how hard those decisions might be, no matter how inconvenient those decisions might be. That's the only way you're going to solve this problem long term. Your only solution is to become the kind of person who can do the hard things when everybody else stops, when everybody else takes a break, when everybody else quits. This is going to be a full commitment to creating the kind of person that can make the right decision even when it's the last thing they want to do. When they're tired, when they're sore, when they're hungry, they will still make the right decision. When they're stressed, when they're frustrated, when they're angry, they will still make the right decision. When the world is crashing down on their shoulders, they will still make the right decision.
Every day, you should look at yourself and ask, what am I prepared to do to achieve what I want? And if your response is whatever it takes, then you'll eventually get there.
You're setting an example every single day. You have to consistently challenge and work that damn mind of yours. It's a mental machine that needs constant pushing. The cost of regret is far heavier than the cost of discipline. You don't want to wake up one day and regret not following your instincts, not doing what you wanted.
Don't live with regrets. If there's something you want to do in your job, in your relationships, in school, just do it. Life is all about mastering this mental game. Once you conquer this mental game, it stops being a game. You start actually living your life.
Every day you have the choice to either succumb to the seductive whispers of ease or to rise above and challenge yourself. You gotta recognize that the path to greatness, to real growth and achievement, lies in doing the hard things. The things that require effort, dedication, and a relentless pursuit of your goals.
It's about realizing that every difficult step you take is a step towards becoming a stronger, more capable version of yourself.
When you're committed, you start training your mind to seek growth over comfort, embracing the struggle rather than avoiding it. This mental shift is what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary.
The most successful individuals are those who can act independently of their feelings. They don't negotiate with their emotions. They separate themselves from these fleeting states and focus on their goals. By taking control of your emotions, you become a disciplined, goal-achieving machine, capable of accomplishing anything you set your mind to.
This isn't just about today, it's about setting the stage for your future. Every decision, every action is a building block for the future you are creating. It's not solely about the goals you achieve, but the person you become in the process.
As you build your future, your vision becomes clearer, and each victory sharpens your focus, transforming your goals from distant dreams into achievable realities.
Discipline is the weapon against mediocrity. And every time you choose to rise early, opt for healthier options, or hit the gym despite fatigue, you strike a blow against weakness, thereby strengthening your mind and character. You need to cultivate the voice of a champion within you. This is the voice that compels you to get up even when you're tired, even when everything in you wants to stop.
Become the person who cannot quit. Become the person who can say no to the things that they know they're supposed to say no to. Become the person who makes the right decision regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the hardships, regardless of the pain, regardless of the frustration. If you become that person, you have no limits in your life. There is no stopping that person. Start today, and in 365 days you will look back and you will say, that was the day. That was the day that everything changed. That was the day that my life changed. That was the day that my family changed. That was the day my community changed, because I changed.
I dare you to work on yourself for 6 months. I dare you to shut out the world. I dare you to shut out all the distractions. I dare you to give up everything that is keeping you from your dream.
Every day when I wake up, I got all kind of demands. You got all kind of demands. And the reason why you're not where you want to be, you taking all other people's stuff before you spend enough time with yourself to get to know you and get to know what you want and what you should do. Come on, y'all. Y'all heard it a million times. In case of an emergency, put the doggone mask on yourself first. And the problem with most of you in this room, you giving it to everybody else first. And then you piss when you give it to everybody else first, and you come up short, and you wonder why you came up short, because you gave it to everybody else first. Take care of you.
In order to have unbelievable choice and options in your life, in your pursuit of your dream, you must eliminate them. You must shrink your focus down to one thing, one business, one focus at one time, and master it and get great at it for an extended period of time. The irony of life is that the more you shrink your options in pursuit of your dream, the more it'll open them up in your life later. What are the things that are stealing your focus? Who are the people that are stealing your focus? And begin to eliminate these distractions. Get laser focused and obsessed on what you want. Be starving and hungry to get it. Be desperate to get it. The combination of desperation and hunger with laser focus over an extended period of time is the formula to be great at something.
If you want to show me you want to win that bad, pack your calendar, because everything is based off of activity. Very few people want to show their calendar, because if they did, you would realize who really wants to win bad and who doesn't. It's mathematically impossible for you not to win at the highest level if your calendar is packed from day till night, every single day, the entire year, without you winning.
Embed that long-term goal in your mind. Burn it into your soul. Think about it, write about it, talk about it, hang it up on your wall, but most important, do something about it. Every day, do something that moves you toward that goal, that keeps that goal alive and in sight and in focus. However small or insignificant that step might seem, take it, make it happen, because that goal isn't going to achieve itself. It is all on you.
Champions are focused on the goal. They don't have time to be doing stuff that's not going to help them toward the goal. So all the little stuff you talking about, all the little social media, cut it off. Cut it off. Do what you're supposed to do. You ain't no boy no more. Get off social media. It's killing you. Get off of it. Stop Netflix. Who you watching? Watch you. You got a job to do. That's what you're getting paid for. Have some pride. And the problem with some of y'all is you want somebody else to support your dream. It's yours. I don't owe you a dime. It's your dream. If you wanted to have it, reach up and make it happen. If you wanted to have it, rise and grind.
Our obsessions become our possessions, but we won't possess them if we're not truly obsessed. Turn your damn TV off. Turn your phone off a lot too. Don't be so obsessed with them. Be obsessed with your own reality TV program called Your Own Life. This suffering, this sacrifice you're making is an indicator of progress. It's an indicator of obsession. Suffering and sacrifice and hard work is an indication of progress towards our dreams. The price you will pay for not making your dream come true is far greater than the one that you will pay to make it come true.
you'll pay that one the rest of your life. And so ask yourself what you're willing to risk. What's the price you're willing to pay? Stop negotiating the price. It's a freeing experience to totally commit. When you totally commit to a business, to your fitness, it's a freeing, powerful, it's almost like removing kryptonite from your life when you totally commit. Can you do that? The people around you always say, it's costing too much. It's costing too much. You gotta start going, no, it's worth it.
Isn't it crazy that you can barely control you?
You can barely control your own actions. You know what you need to do. You know what you need to do. It's in your mind right now, but you don't feel like doing it. You don't feel like getting up. You don't feel like doing the work. You don't feel like working hard. And if you don't feel like working hard, if you don't feel like getting up, then you better feel like losing. You better feel like getting weaker, because that's what's gonna happen. That thing that you have to do that you know sucks, whether it's squats or your workout or going for a run or some paperwork or a project or cleaning up, well, the longer you wait, the longer it takes. What you need to do is brainwash yourself, indoctrinate yourself, repeat your sacred chant that discipline equals freedom. Mold yourself into who you want to be.
At some point, you're gonna have to learn to be disciplined. You're gonna have to learn, if you say you're gonna wake up at 8 o'clock, you're gonna get up at 8 o'clock, no matter how you feel. And to get to the next level of success, you can't just have energy when you got energy. You gotta wake up every day and you gotta go get it. Why? Because if you don't hunt, you don't eat. If another human can tell you to get up and go to work and do what you're supposed to do, be the human. You be that human. If you need somebody to tell you you need to lose 100 pounds, be your own voice to tell yourself you need to. Because if you don't have personal discipline, you'll never get to the next level. The next level is not something that's far away.
When you got tasks and you got little issues going on and you got little problems and you got time and you got all these things that are aligning against you and they're not allowing you to go forward and do what you need to do, it's real simple. Don't allow them to. Just don't allow it. Just go. And procrastination dies.
You are moved, but you're not responsible for your move. Everything is external that moves you. Now I want you to start moving yourself internally. I want you to be able to push your buttons and not let anything else push your buttons. You hear people say all the time, like, yo, I was feeling it, now I ain't feeling it. That's on you. You control your feelings. Don't nobody else control your feelings. So when you tell me I ain't feeling it no more, it don't got nothing to do with something external. It's something internal that you ain't pushing no more. It wasn't the car or house that pushed you. You push you. It wasn't the house or the car or the money that pushed you. You push you, but you told yourself it was those things. You push you, you move you. So if you're not being moved, that's on you. You're doing something wrong. You're not being able to go inside and push the right buttons. You gotta move you every single day. If you get to a point in your day and you down and out, if you get to a point in your day and you exhausted, you get to a point in your day and you're not feeling it, you can stop right there and change the mood. Get your butt up and find the strength to do what you're supposed to do. Like, yo, stop compromising. Just grind. Keep playing the game. Keep grinding. Keep working. And that other stuff will take care of itself. I need you to grind every single opportunity you get, every chance you get. And I need you to grind on the little stuff. Just be consistent. Wash the dishes and wash the dishes 100%. Mop the floor and mop it 100%. Go to work and do your work. Don't just go to work when you feel like it. Go to work every single day. Work on it every day. Even when you down and out, even when you're not feeling it, still do it. You gotta feel that momentum. Sometimes it ain't about being the most talented. Sometimes it ain't about being the smartest. Sometimes it's about consistency. Consistency. Just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and never stop and never give up and never quit. Day after day, play after play, second after second, minute by minute. Are you hearing what I'm saying?
You have to decide that you are going to be in control, that you are going to do what you want to do. Weakness doesn't get a vote. Laziness doesn't get a vote. So next time you are feeling weak or lazy or soft, tell those feelings they don't get a vote. You are declaring martial law on your mind. Mind control.
Every human being that is not successful versus every human being that's successful, the only difference between them is mental toughness. One group, when they come up against trials and tribulation, they shrink. And mental toughness says, not only do I climb that doggone mountain, I enjoy climbing the mountain. I get a kick out the mountain. I get a kick out the weights. I get a kick out of going up against the number one team. I get a kick out of going into the 6th, 7th week. I get a kick out of fatigue. I get a kick out of the grind. I get a kick out of it.
If you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness.
Some of you right now, you're in the worst pain you've ever been in. Your marriage is falling apart. Your family is falling apart. That sickness in your life is getting worse. You've failed over and over and over again, and you don't know what you're gonna do now. And you reach a point where you're not sure how you can possibly get out of this mess.
And it's not one thing that breaks you. It's everything. It's everything you've been through. All the years before, compounding together. And just to find out that the things are never going to stop coming at you, that finally brings you to the point that you say, I'm not sure if I want to get up out of bed today, if all I'm going to face is another fight.
And this is the point that can either make you or break you. This moment right here can become your biggest turning point for the better, or the moment you lose everything.
The choice is yours of what it becomes. You choose the outcome by your choices. Do you give up or do you get up? When you're in that hole and surrounded by darkness, you have to remember, this is not the end for you. You can still change your circumstances. It doesn't matter what's happened, how much pain you've endured, who's betrayed you, what's gone wrong. The only thing that matters right now is what are you gonna do about it?
Things are always gonna go wrong in life. That's a part of it. But you have to become more powerful to be able to push through those battles. Things won't get easier, so you gotta get stronger.
You have to find the reasons that make it worth fighting for. Because if you can find a why, you can get through anyhow. If you're doing it for a car or a house, you will quit. But if you're doing it for your family, if you're doing it for your spouse, if you're doing it for what it represents about you, you can make it through anything.
And if you can pull yourself together, if you can find a way out of no way, if you can find opportunities where most would see dead ends, if you can find life where others see death, you can make your dreams, your goals, your vision a reality.
When there's a will, there's a way. When you want something bad enough, you'll find a way and you'll stop at nothing to reach it.
I need you to remember that it's always darkest before dawn. I need you to remember that you are still here. You are still alive. And as long as you're still alive, as long as you're still breathing, you have another chance to come back once again. When life punches you and clobbers you to the ground, it's your job to find the strength, find the intestinal fortitude to pick yourself up and fight back. Life's not always going to be easy. Sometimes you got to fight for what you know you deserve. It takes believing in an outcome that is in your favor. And make no mistake about it, most people won't see it for you. Most people will tell you to give up. Most people will think you're wasting your time. But you are not most people. You've got to believe in the possibilities for you and your future so strong that it outweighs anyone else's opinions. You need to have something that knocks you to your knees. That's the only way you ever discover what's inside of you. Life doesn't give you what you want. Life gives you what you'll accept. If you'll accept failure, hardships, disappointment, that's exactly what life's gonna give you. If you wanna win, you gotta show up and demand success and fulfillment and happiness for yourself.
In spite of all those feelings every day of wanting to give up, of quitting, of throwing in the towel, in spite of all that, it's going to be your ability to somehow, some way, to muster up the courage to flush that out, to reach down deep and find something inside of you that will allow you to go for it one more time. Adversity defines true character. Don't quit, don't collapse, don't faint, don't give in. Either way you go, you gotta fight.
All of us, we got the same ending. We're gonna die. So if you know you're gonna die, why are you playing it safe? I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna make something happen. I am not gonna live and die and not leave anything in the earth as a sign that I was here. I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna harness this challenge and turn it into my triumph because I will not stop.
There's all kinds of different ways to break. You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and none of those are fun, and all of those are gonna leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory, or it can be the mark of defeat. When I'm broken, I relish it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use it. Because if I'm broken, then I just found my limitations. And until I know what my limitations are, how can I push them? How can I get better? Once I feel it, once I see where I was broken, then I can attack that weakness. I can fill in that gap. I can reinforce that breach. If you break, it means it's time to fortify your will to make it stronger. Because every time you break, and in every way that you break, while it's a chance for you to give up and for you to fall apart, but there's also opportunity. There's opportunity to get stronger, and get smarter, and get faster, and get tougher, and get more stable, and get more resilient, and get better. When you break, you have the opportunity to show the world, the whole world, what you are really made of. The fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning. And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, covered, and you're covered in blood and sweat and dirt and filth as you rise above what you were. And as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
Most people, ladies and gentlemen, are stoppable. Most people, all you have to do is tell them no. All you have to do is make it inconvenient for them. All you have to do is throw some issues and challenges their way, and they give up. They throw in the towel. They surrender.
See, those people don't realize that it goes with the territory. That when you want to grow, when you want to achieve, when you want to experience more, all hell will break loose. Everything that can happen will happen.
It's one thing to believe when you've got money in your pocket. It's one thing to believe when your marriage is working out and you've got your health. It's easy to believe then. But it's another thing when you get that diagnosis that says you're not going to be around much longer. When you lose your job, when someone you thought you'd be with for the rest of your life says, no, we can't do this anymore. That's when you have to dig deep. That's when you got to find something within you that won't be denied.
There is something about you. There is a power within you that regardless of what happens to you, you can stand up inside of yourself and declare, I am going to do it.
You got to get to the point in your life where you say, I have had it. I'm not going to live like this anymore. No, there's got to be more for me. You got to draw the line. You got to say enough is enough, and I'm not going to let anything stop me.
Don't go through life feeling like you're powerless. Victims are people that are powerless. You're not powerless. You're not a victim. You are powerful. In the chaos is an opportunity. If you can learn to harness the pain you're going through, you can rise to the challenge and refuse to allow the chaos around you to determine the conqueror within you.
Resisting the toe to go down and standing fiercely in spite of the opposition and saying, I'm going to do it anyway, but you don't know what's happened to me. It doesn't matter what has happened to you. The only thing that really matters is what are you going to do about it?
I can become upset, nervous, tense about it, weak about it, or I can say, it's okay, I'm gonna make it happen. You can allow it to destroy you, or you can allow it to build you up. You have the power to do that.
Things are gonna happen to you, and the most important thing to do is to harness your will and let it go and move so you can grow, so you can get on with your life. Start working and developing yourself now and prepare yourself for what it is that you want, because you expect to get it.
Courageously hold on to your dream and don't lose enthusiasm. You gotta be out of your mind to believe. In spite of these numbers, you can still make it. You gotta be crazy. Yes, you must be crazy. The crazy people are the only ones who change the world and do the impossible. You gotta believe in your heart of hearts that in spite of the pain you're feeling, you can still come back again. It doesn't matter how many times I fail. I'm gonna courageously pursue it. I don't care what people say. I don't care what they think. This is something that I want that gives my life meaning and value.
You've got to learn how not to give up and how not to give in. And you got to understand that greatness is within you, and you got to pull it out. When life's putting the pressure on you, you have to learn to bolt every escape hatch closed in your mind and don't allow yourself a way out. You gotta find a way or make a way.
It's okay to cry, it's okay to go home, it's okay to take a break, but quitting should never be an option. The weakness is in your mind, out to worry you to death, out to stress you to death, out to break you down, out to make you quit, out to make you think that you can't get up, out to make you give up on your dream.
The war takes place in your own head. It's not in your savings account. It's not in your job. The fight that you've got to fight is in your mind. And if you can get it out of your head, you can get it out of your job. You can get it out of your finances. You can get all the self-pitying and victimizing thoughts out of your entire life.
If you don't like where you're at, don't worry about it. This is just a chapter. Don't like how you feel right now? It's okay. It's just a chapter. Why are you up all night, stressed, worried, and weeping over one chapter in your life? This isn't the end of your story. The last chapter of your life hasn't been written yet. You still have more to go. You can still turn things around. And it doesn't matter what happened yesterday or the day before. What matters is, what are you doing right now to make your life better? What steps are you taking right now to improve yourself and your situation? We can't control what has happened, but we can control what we do now. You have full control over yourself and your ability to work on yourself and get better at whatever you're doing.
The difficulties you're facing right now aren't there to stop you from living your dream. They're there to push you onto another level. They will help make you into the person you want to be. Don't run away from the hardship like most people do. Step toward it, face it head on, and be willing to wrestle with it to get what you want.
This world is always going to give you scars, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. Many people try to hide their scars. No, you should wear those scars as a badge of honor. They show what you've overcame, what you've faced and beaten. Because only the toughest people make it through to the other side where success is. And you are tough. You are cut from a different cloth.
And you gotta see yourself capable and worthy of living a life of greatness, a life of peace. Say to yourself, I'm gonna do it. I'm coming out of this. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I don't know what I'm gonna have to go through. I don't know what I'm gonna lose along the way. But I am going to make it through this.
I've been broke, busted, and disgusted, but I still believe that I am coming out of this mess. No matter what it takes, I'm going to do it.
What is the common denominator of failure? Why are you failing? You never say because of me. Oh, it's the competition. If you wake up tomorrow morning and blame your failure on someone or something else, you have no reason to change, do you? But if you woke up in the morning and looked in the mirror and said, I am failing because of me. The decisions that I make, the energy I put in. I'm not passing the blame. If you look in the mirror tomorrow and say that, you will change. Because nobody likes thinking of themselves as a failure.
Winners win and losers lose. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture.
Take ownership. Take ownership of everything in your world, the good and the bad. Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing. Take ownership of your mistakes. Take ownership of your shortfalls. Take ownership of your problems. And then take ownership of the solutions that will get those problems solved. Take ownership of your job, of your team, of your future, and take ownership of your life.
All I need you to do is speak up and say, I expect to win. Declare that it's over. That yesterday was the last day that you were a loser. Like yesterday was the last day you expected to come up short. When you set out for a goal, expect it to happen. Expect to be successful. Expect it to be positive. If you can expect it, if you can wake up feeling like a winner, if you can wake up talking like a winner, if you can expect that everything you do will come out winning, I guarantee you, you never ever have to come up short again.
It's not easy, but through practice and practice and practice, practice makes improvement. You can always better your best. You can always go beyond anything that you have ever done. You'll never hit a state of perfection. You're always bigger than what you do. And so all you're looking for are new breakthroughs through practice and practice and practice. You'll get better and better and better.
It might be year 2, 3, 4 before you get your big win, but you could decide now, I'm gonna walk, talk, and be a different person. You decide that. You're the lead character in the story of your life. Everything has to do with you intending to win. Too many of you are playing with your business. If you make that shift, I'm going to win. We're gonna play to win now. We're not playing to play. We're not playing to see how we do. We're not playing for fun. Once you start getting some winning, you start changing. You talk different, you walk different. All of a sudden, this isn't the same damn human being. You can change you. You'd be surprised what a little winning would do. You'd be surprised how good you'd be if you just decide to win. Be number one in your office, number one in your region. And when you start stacking them up, your life can change.
When everything goes dark in your life, when those people who you thought would be there for you forever suddenly leave you, when your dreams fall apart in front of your face, and anyone you come across tells you you're not gonna make it when it seems like things couldn't get any worse, I need you to dig deep. I need you to find that power deep within you that won't be denied.
When all hell's breaking loose in your life, you got to take a stand. You got to stand up against all the negativity that's consuming you and surrounding you. And you got to create a new reality for yourself. You have got to fight for a different outcome for you and your dreams.
This is not the end. This is your new beginning. You have the power to change your story. No one and no obstacle can take that away from you.
A champion isn't made when things are easy. Champions are forged through fire, through defeat, through the struggle of having to deal with the worst imaginable and not running away from it, standing up and taking it on. You don't have to always be jacked up and excited about it. Sometimes all you gotta do is outlast it.
You just gotta keep moving forward. If you're feeling hurt, keep moving. If you're crying, keep moving. If you don't know what's gonna happen, keep moving. I just need you to keep the momentum going and not sit down and feel sorry for yourself. You might not see it right now, but all this crap you're dealing with now, you're gonna be glad it happened. You'll feel fortunate that it all went bad, because what you're gonna learn in this process is that these situations are gonna make you into an unstoppable beast. You don't become a beast when all is going well. There has to be pressure.
There has to be pain. There has to be darkness.
No matter how bad things get, you gotta keep fighting. It's about taking a stand, standing courageously, daringly, and boldly against the odds.
No matter how dire the situation, no matter how insurmountable the obstacles, you keep moving forward. You keep walking toward your dreams, no matter what. This relentless pursuit, this unyielding drive is what separates the victors from the vanquished.
When the world tells you it's over, when it seems like there's no way out, that's when you fight the hardest. That's when you prove to yourself and everyone else that you have what it takes. You show that no matter how dark it gets, you will find a way to shine.
It's not about the intensity of your battles, but the strength of your response. It doesn't matter how cautious or careful you are. Life will always hit you in the face. It's gonna hurt like hell, but the question is, how hard can you hit back? How hard can you fight back? How much of a fight are you willing to put up for your dreams?
Because if you really care about it like you say you do, you don't fold at the first, second, third, or even the 22nd time something or someone tries to knock you down and stop you on your path to greatness. No, you keep destroying everything in your path until you get exactly what it is you want. And you stop at nothing to reach it. Whenever you feel negative, whenever you feel your life is getting tough, I want you to say, I'm responsible. I'm responsible for my life. I'm responsible for what happens. I can't change the past, so I'm not going to spend a single second worrying about what has happened. I'm going to become so busy working on my future and my goals that I don't have time to think about the past.
You get so laser focused that you get very specific on what you're doing to make progress. You know exactly what you're doing on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday. You know precisely how to make your situation better every day of the week.
You turn your tragedy into triumph, because that's what winners do. They don't just dream. They do. Winners take their plans, their goals, their visions, and turn them into action. They're not paralyzed by fear or doubt. They're propelled by determination and drive. Winners don't fall apart. Winners don't give up. Winners don't quit. Winners execute.
I've always thought of life as like this one-way street, and you head down it, and as you do, it sort of disappears behind you. You can't go back once you've started this damn journey. You can only go forward. So you got two choices. One, you get scared, you give up, and then you burn up. And the second one, then you barrel through it. And when you come out on the other side, I guarantee you're going to be stronger than you ever thought possible.
I didn't come this far to just break down and lose now. I'm a winner. I'm going to win. I'll do whatever it takes to get through this.
Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Hold on. I don't care how long it takes you to finish school. Hold on. I don't care how long it takes you to pass that bar exam. So what, you didn't pass it on the first time? You keep going. You keep studying. You keep writing. You keep singing. You keep rapping. You keep boxing. You keep fighting. You keep dribbling. You just keep on keeping on. And if you persevere, trouble don't last always. Every storm that's come, it will pass.
I just need you to keep walking toward it.
I don't need you thinking about it no more. You're doing too much thinking. You analyze it too much. You're talking yourself out of it. I don't know if this is gonna work. I tried and it didn't work. I just need you to keep moving. I need you to make up in your mind that the only way you can lose is if you quit. I just need you to keep going.
Every one of my successes is stacked on top of failure. Failure is just another peg in the ladder for me to go higher. And some of you in this room today, you need to change your mind because some of you are thinking about giving up because you're in a season of failure. But just because you failed doesn't mean that God doesn't have a bright future in store for you. It is always too soon to quit.
I can't quit. I can't stop. I can't get tired. I can't give up. I can't give in. I can't. Why? My mama counting on me. My
wife is counting on me. When you ain't got nothing left in your tank, you got to think about the people in your life that you doing this for. And then if you could think about them, you could go one more mile. You could go one more day at work. When you doing it for somebody else, when you like that lion, if I don't grind, if we don't grind, if I don't grind, they don't eat. I wish I could tell you tired, go take a break. I wish I could tell you it's gonna get easier. I wish I could tell you that if you just keep going, it's gonna get lighter. The weight is gonna get lighter. I wish I could tell you that, but that's not the truth. The truth is you gotta find something within. You gotta find something within, and that's gotta push you, and that's gotta elevate you, and that's gotta drive you, and that's gotta move you. And when you find out what your why is, when you find your why, you don't hit snooze no more. When you find your why, you find a way to make it happen.
But none of this is ever gonna happen if you quit.
Failure gives you two choices. You stay down or you get up. Well, I'm up and I am fired up because I have figured it out. And I can stay down or I can get myself up, and I'm in the getting up business.